So, you know, in life, there's often a trade-off, all right, between what's hard and what's easy, and what's complicated and what's simple. And this is something that trips up a lot of, a lot of beginners, especially in business, because we all want to do things the easy way. But here, what I'm actually here to tell you is that when you can take the hard way in the game of business, you're gonna find that a lot of the things that you really have to do become really, really simple. Like, if you commit yourself to taking the hard way in business, especially, then your part becomes really simple because it's just doing the hard work. Just doing the hard work. If that can be your default and you're not trying to get some shortcut, hack, easy thing, substitute, where you're putting in some substandard elements, then your life becomes actually really simple, really straightforward in getting you to the goal. And this is why you want to take the hard road in business, guys. Is a lot of the ways that are easy in business involve a lot of complications. Like, let me give you just a simple example. Like, look at some of these guys that are out there and they are cutting deals with some crazy, maybe like mafia type guys or some crazy criminal elements in order to get an easy part in business, right? They cut some kind of deal, um, and maybe they quickly get their business to a certain level of success, making a few $1 million a year or whatever it's gonna be, or even 100 mil. But for the rest of their lives, they are a captive element of the mafia, and they are having to kidnap people, murder people, and imprison people and make people disappear. Like, they might get a phone call in the middle of the night. They say, "Hey Johnny, I need a favor right now." We got Tony. He causing us a lot of problems. you know, and they are often people. Like, is that kind of easy business success really worth it? No, it's not, because it's very complicated. It's, for the rest of your life, you're gonna be living a very complicated life, and I might add, for your afterlife as well. Because when you get into the afterlife, you're gonna have to account for that kind of, it gets, all I can tell you guys to summarize that, and to summarize your destiny in that case, is that it gets very complicated. So complicated, you're not gonna survive it. But let's look at the opposite case. You know, this guy was doing this, and that's how he fast tracked his way to success. Got a very complicated life from that path. Let's look at the so-called Dharma person that actually took the hard road instead, did all the hard work, um, didn't cut any deals with no mafia elements, pulled himself up by the bootstraps of his shoes, and struggled mightily for 15, maybe 20 years. And, sometime in his late 40s, he became a millionaire through sheer hard work. And by this point, everybody in his community knew him because they had all benefited from some product or service of his that he was selling in his local community. So he had a list of friends just from the local community in the hundreds, because thousands, because everybody had bought a thing or other from his store at some point or other, and from his other businesses. And this guy becomes a billionaire maybe in his 50s or 60s, but he did it all himself. Didn't cut no deals with no criminal elements, didn't take no shortcuts, didn't bribe nobody in the government, even though his competitors were paying bribes to try to get ahead. But this guy can sleep well at night. He knows he doesn't owe anyone any criminal favors. He's not worried about what's gonna happen to his wealth when he dies, because he knows his kids are just gonna inherit it. Like, it doesn't belong to some crazy people that he had to cut some crazy deals with that might kill him and rob his kids of their inheritance. Like, he took a road that's much harder, involves a lot harder work, But what it does is it's a very simple road. It's just, are you willing and able to do the work? Can you do the hard work? Are you committed to doing the hard work even if it takes you 20 years or 30 years to get to your goals? Very simple road. So that's the trade-off between hard versus easy. Simple versus complicated. Anytime you're going in for an easy shortcut, in a lot of ways, in a lot of cases, you find that's a far more complicated road. So my advice to you guys, especially to beginners in businesses, you really want to go for the hard road. Take the hard road, commit yourself to doing the hard, honest work. If you can do that, then things become really simple. I didn't say easy. You actually want that hardness, but it's gonna be what? It's gonna be simple because now you're walking a path that's straight. You know, you're not getting that crazy phone call at 3 in the morning. Hey, Johnny, we need you to do something. Tony over there is causing a lot of trouble. Yeah, we need you to. Yeah, you gotta do a favor. Yeah, man, you gotta do something about Tony. You see, you don't want those kinds of phone calls, guys. So that's my advice to